Welcome back to the Gentleman Grachowski Show. We're here at Harrigan's on Halstead, 2816 North Halstead. Harrigan's Irish Pub, and none other than Alex Joyce is here with me.
It's great to be here with you at my favorite Irish pub in St. Patrick's Month.
There you go. Now, the good thing about Alex that people may know or may not know is he hosts the Tuesday night showcase here, a comedy showcase, which is called Pint of Laughs.
Yes.
And tell us about what goes into really. Everyone thinks that a stand-up comedian is someone who just goes there and it's natural. Tell us about the hard work that a stand-up comedian needs to do.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of writing and rewriting, and it's a lot of editing. And your audience is definitely your senior editor to all of your material. But if you think that you can do stand-up comedy, you can. You just got to be crazy. Come here every Tuesday, 8 o'clock. Sign up, 8:30 show. And we got people who've been doing it for 10 years who are great, and we got people who just started. But it's always a good show, and it's always a great Irish pub.
Now tell us about people that, like I said, you grow your whole life and you don't want anyone to laugh at you. But as a stand-up comedian, you want them to laugh at you.
Yes.
What do you tell a person that maybe has some creative thoughts in their mind about stand-up comedy, but then, you know what? They're afraid of getting laughed at, or no, they're afraid of not getting laughed at.
Yeah.
How do you tell them about, what do you teach them, what do you coach them about performance-wise or some behind-the-scenes?
I would say the same thing to them that I would wish I could have said to myself, is that as soon as you're up there, you're not worried anymore. You're up there doing it, and you're not worried about it, so just get up there and do it.
Now, you think people still get worried up there?
Yes.
'Cause I would think maybe the first word or two is when people would really get nervous, and then you kind of fall into the routine.
I would say that as soon as you get up there on stage, you have done something that most people would do anything to not do. I mean, it's just it's the scariest thing that you can do is public speaking, you know? But once you're up there, you can do whatever you want.
And that's a good thing about it, because you know what? You could fail and come back next week and try it again.
Yes.
Or take a month off, come back and work on your routine. There's always an opportunity here at Pint of Laughs here,
Absolutely. At Pint of Laughs, this is a great place to fail because you've got a great Irish bartender here who's very supportive, and he's a great guy. And Chicago's the best place for stand-up comedy, and I think that Harrigan's the best place to do an open mic for sure.
Definitely, Mickey will set you up. He'll make sure you're a winner here every time, right?
He will. Even when you're striking out up there, it's a good time.
Now, you know, with stand-up comedy, everybody, they have the routine in their head that they think. Everyone thinks their joke is the best ever.
Yeah.
And sometimes it doesn't come out right. And when this comes down to maybe performance or just the joke might not be just, funny. What do you tell people about tweaking their jokes?
Just try and try again. Just keep at it. Make adjustments. I would say that 9 times out of 10 it's not going to work. But it's the forgetting about, being afraid of failing, that once you get over that and you don't care,
right,
then you start making some real progress.
Now, you know what works 10 times out of 10 times?
Drinking?
Party. It's always 10 times out of 10 times. We happen to have Party Wesley, my friend. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. The governor.
Now, Party, as we know, is his party time is 24/7, right?
Oh, yeah. See, a broken clock is only correct 2 times a day, but party time is right 24/7, baby.
24/7. Now, if you were to sit there and party, what do you think Party would be as a stand-up comedian?
What's that?
You think Party would be a good stand-up comedy?
100%, yeah.
Let me tell you the joke of the day.
Yes.
I asked this girl out on a date, right? She told me she already had 5 boyfriends. I said, who are they? She said, George Washington, Ulysses Grant, Benjamin Franklin, Abraham Lincoln, and Andrew Jackson. I was like, I got no chance for her.
There you go. But you got to hook up with those papers. She's a paper guy, a paper girl.
Yes, she is.
There you go. And one thing is, this is the Gentleman Grachowski Show. We're here at Harrigan's on Halstead, and 2816 North Halstead is where we're at. Check us out. This is Alex Joyce, Tuesday nights here with a Pint of Laughs. You can have Pint and Laughs.
Pint of Laughs.
2 for 1 on Tuesdays.
Every Tuesday, come check it out. It's a great Irish pub, great open mic. We'd love to see you.
Cool. All right, this is the Gentleman Grachowski Show. We got party time right here. Alex Joyce right there. We'll be back after this. Don't go away. We're here at Harrigan's in Halstead, 2816 North Halstead.
Hello, my name is John Bevan. This is an original song called Go She Said. You can find it on Spotify underneath the band name Lever. Thank you.
I could still survive. The best part of feeling worst is, just still alive. Last night I had a dream that you told me I was yesterday's news. You were once my queen. Now you got me here singing the blues. But I'm still alive. You're still alive. I can still survive. I still know my friends. The fun never ends. Behind this guitar, I'm still a guitar. So right, you're not the first. I can still survive. The best part of feeling worst is, just still alive. Last night had a dream that you told me I was yesterday's news. You were once my queen. Now you got me here singing the blues. But I'm still alive. Yes, I'm still alive. I can still survive.
Welcome back to the Gentleman Grachowski Show. We're here at Harrigan's on Halstead, 2860 North Halstead. We happen to have Guinness rep here, Amy Redmond, to the broadcast. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Tell us about, I'm doing great, and tell us about Guinness. Guinness has a long tradition of being a beer, right?
It is. So Guinness actually started in 1759, which is older than America.
Long time, yeah.
Long time. So Arthur Guinness was actually inherited 100 pounds from his uncle, who was an archbishop.
Okay.
And he went up the road to Dublin and he leased St. James's Gate. So St. James's Gate refers to the area of Dublin where the brewery is. Originally St. James's Gate was one of the main entryways to the city of Dublin.
Okay.
During Viking years when it was a
The
walled,
Viking years, yeah.
when it was a walled, fortified city, so
Right.
it was St. James's Gate. So, and he signed a very, very unique lease, and it was 100 pounds down for 1,000 or 9,000 years.
9,000 years. Okay.
9,000 years was the original lease.
Oh,
so
wow.
The
They
reason
honor it today still, huh?
in a way, yes, in a way. The reason for the long lease at that time was the idea was keep Irish land in Irish hands. So
Right.
Irish would lease land to each other for very long periods of time, and that was the story behind it.
Now, you said the man that started Guinness, he was a very active with the community, right?
He was very philanthropic. So the Guinness family were very, very generous with the local community. They built the Ivy Gardens, which was like basically low-income housing. So a lot of the brewery workers did live in these houses. They were the first company in all of Europe to offer pensions, offer paid medical and sick leave, and like pre-union, this is really, really unheard of.
Right.
And during the World Wars, if you were a worker of the brewery and you went and fought in the World Wars, you were your wife would be paid your wages while you were away.
Okay.
And if, unfortunately, you didn't return, your wife would be given your pension and offered supplemental employment. Like, and they were very. They were also very great to the Dublin and London zoos. The tip of the hat to the animals that you see in all the drawings.
Right. Tell us about how Guinness is made.
How Guinness is made? Yeah, so Guinness actually, so the Guinness we know and love today, which is the Guinness draft here, which is typically what you see in most pubs, actually didn't exist until 1959.
Okay.
So in 1759, Arthur Guinness started brewing ales, and then he changed it to porters, and then became stouts.
Okay.
So Arthur Guinness was very, very forward-thinking, and he wanted to go all over the world, and so he created a foreign export porter that went all over the world. So part of the brewing process was a man called Daniel Wheeler, and he basically invented what today is known as a coffee drum roaster.
Okay.
So it's a way of roasting barley. Before that, what they would do is they would just burn sugar and throw it into the beer for the color, which obviously probably tasted terrible.
I gotcha.
So essentially, that technology is pretty much the same thing used today. So Guinness, the Guinness Brewery is the largest brewery of its size in the world that roasts its own barley on site every day.
Unbelievable. And tell us about the artwork.
So the artwork was created by an artist called John Gilroy. So up until like the 1920s, Guinness didn't really advertise too much. But times changed and they moved along with the times, and they created an ad campaign with John Gilroy. He was an English artist that created all these drawings. The first one was the pelican, all the bottles coming out of his beak, and then it became the toucan, which is pretty much the most synonymous animal that you see in all the Guinness repertoire. He took his children to a circus, and he saw a seal balancing a ball on his nose, and he thought, what if that was a pint glass? And that's how it started. So it's a whole bunch of different languages, hundreds of different drawings, and the caricature, the zookeeper that keeps losing his beard to all the animals is actually a caricature of himself.
Okay. And what's your favorite part about working for Guinness?
Favorite part about working for Guinness is I get to do this at work.
Yeah.
You know, I get to go and have a few beers, and I get to meet so many different interesting people, and everybody loves to tell you their stories about when I went to Ireland I did this, or when I went to the brewery I did this. My favorite pint of Guinness to get is at this place. Like, it's a very open and friendly beer. People love talking about it. People love talking about story about Ireland. Yeah.
And can you tell us a little about this Ripple machine?
Yes. So the Ripple machine was actually created initially for coffee. So coffee houses will put their logo on it. So what it is, it's a flavorless malt extract.
Okay.
And essentially it looks like an inkjet print cartridge, and it prints it on line by line. So I can take your picture, which I did, go into the machine.
All right.
And we'll send it off and see how it goes.
And there it is. There's the machine going on. You want to get a close up of this, Mark, here? That's cool. So I'm definitely glad you stopped. We were able to accommodate us today.
Yeah.
I know we got a lot busy here with Irish Whiskey Fest here at Harrigan's 2816 North Halstead. And like I said, you definitely, thanks for stopping by.
Absolutely.
And we get a close-up of this whiskey here, or this beer.
And if you can't make it to Ireland, we do have a brewery in Baltimore. So if you can find yourself near the Baltimore airport, we do have our Guinness brewery, which is a home of Guinness Blonde.
That's my face. All right, thanks for stopping by. We're at Harrigan's on Halstead, 2860 North Halstead. And this is Annie Redmond, and she's our representative for Guinness, and a great beer here. And believe it or not, Guinness has got fewer calories than most beers, right?
Guinness is pretty light. It's only 4.2% alcohol, which is the same as your general American light beers. And it's 126 calories per 12 ounces, so it's not a heavy beer like most people think it is, but it's relatively light.
Right.
So.
All right, Annie, thanks for stopping by. Cheers. There you
Cheers,
go.
Lunche.
All right, this is the Gentleman Grachowski Show. We're here at Harrigan's on Halstead, 2816 North Halstead. We'll be back after this. Don't go away. Welcome back to the Gentleman Grachowski Show. We're here at Harrigan's on Halstead, 2816 North Halstead, and we're here for the Irish Whiskey Fest. We're having a great time here. We got Alex Joyce to come back on the show just to talk a little bit more about the book that his father had written, and we'll talk more about some of his stand-up comedy routine here going on. But let's talk about more about the Flucker Flagger. What's it called?
It's called Pucker Factor 10. My old man wrote a book about his experiences flying helicopters in Vietnam. It came out in 2003, but the Audible book just came out like 2 weeks ago. So check it out. I didn't know my dad was even barely in Vietnam, but
Right.
he was there, and he's very funny, and it's a good book. So check it out.
Now, when you were growing up, did your dad have a admiration for aerodynamic things or airplanes, helicopters, frisbees, anything like that?
Definitely, we living in the suburbs, lived in Addison, Illinois.
Okay.
Definitely saw lots of planes and helicopters flying over, and whenever there was a Huey flying over, he would be like, "I used to fly those," but he never told us about the war or anything. But yeah, he's a pilot.
Yeah. Now, why do they call Hueys?
I don't know. They're called UH-1s, and there's just a nickname, Hueys.
And have you ever gone for a helicopter ride?
I did in Gatlinburg, Tennessee one time. It was
Okay.
like $15.
Yeah.
Did like a little fly around. It was scary as and but yeah, there was nobody shooting at us, but it was like scary.
Now, obviously, the rides that your father took in the past were probably a little bit more scarier, I'm guessing.
Yeah, he wasn't impressed with our fly around.
No. Now, when you were growing up, and your dad, would he talk at all about being in the war?
Not barely at all. I didn't know that my dad actually got shot at and was like fought in Vietnam until I was 23, and that's when the book came out. And that's because he doesn't like to talk about it, really.
Right, a lot of post-traumatic stress disorder.
Well,
a lot of people don't like to keep that behind them. And then when you find out your dad is a hero, you're like, wow, huh?
He wouldn't call himself a hero, but apparently he likes to write about it, but he didn't like talking about it.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about something you enjoy talking about, and that has happened on every Tuesday night here at Harrigan's, 2816 North Halstead, 8:30 p.m. We got Pint of Laughs.
I don't know how else to say it. If you think you can do stand-up comedy, you can. Come to Harrigan's Pint of Laughs every Tuesday. Sign up, perform, and do it. This is the best Irish pub in Chicago and the best, most supported people. And stand-up comedy is Chicago, and we come out.
And what's funny is when people come here and they talk about doing, that comedy is a big thing for Chicago. It's kind of more the improv side of it, but it's still comedy. Chicago is known for its comedy.
That's it. That's absolutely right. When I first moved here in like 2005, I mean, Chicago is just improv. It's all improv and sketch, but stand-up is having this big boom. It's like it's beyond belief. It's incredible. If you think you can do it, you can do it. Come check it out. Sign up, see the show, and we can't wait to meet you.
And what do you think some of the resurgences for comedy in Chicago is? What do you contributes to that? The comedy that people are really doing stand-up now. What's the stand-up comedy resurgence in Chicago?
I think it starts to like Netflix specials and like just stuff that like, it's gotten people interested in stand-up again. And that's absolutely right, because stand-up's the best,
Right.
It's a person and a microphone and their story. What's better than that?
You're a person, that's a microphone, and we heard your story. Alex Joyce here. And check out his father's book, which is called, again?
Pucker Factor 10.
All right, and always, you want to speak more with them, come here on Tuesday nights, 8:30 p.m. for Pint of Laughs here.